When we venture out into the wild, we should carry a survival kit. This is just common sense. Yet, when people venture into the city, they often go with nothing. It doesn't make any sense. After all, what's wilder than the city? I've been working the last few years in downtown New York City, Madison Avenue, the belly of the beast, and have modified my kit from when I used it to drive to work 15 minutes from home to where I now commute 35 miles each way by train. Naturally, you can't carry as much when you rely on public transport, so you must choose your items carefully. This is what works for me, and I'd like to show it to you now. Okay, now, let's talk about the bag itself. Basically, there are two ways you can go. An actual backpack type, which rides on your back, or a messenger bag. Now, I actually prefer the messenger bag. This basically goes around your shoulder, and a lot of the weight is supported by your hip. And this has a lot of advantages, in my opinion, over the backpack, in that, first of all, when you're getting on the train, you can easily move it to the front and sit down. Everything's accessible. Or if you're walking, you have the ability to move it closer to your body. Whereas if it's on your back, like a regular type, backpack, knapsack, rucksack, you don't have as much control when you're walking or when you're on a crowded train environment, and you can always be pulled back. Whereas with this, there's nothing to really grab onto except the strap. So this is actually a rapid comm bag. The best kind of bag, I think, is one that doesn't scream tactical for a city environment. This one does have some elements of tactical look to it, but I like it because it's a very strong, sturdy bag, and it holds what I need for it to hold, and it kind of distributes the weight very well, and it has a lot of pockets. So what I'm going to do now is bring you down and show you what I have in the bag. Okay, so this is the bag, this is the front of the bag, this is the back of the bag, and what I like to do is keep a lot of my more important things accessible by putting them on the outer pockets. So let's start with the top pocket, which unzips, and in here just got some Kleenex, and I've got one of these solar powered telephone chargers or battery recharging devices with built-in flashlight. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that in the daylight. And this is great. With this I can charge my Galaxy telephone probably two times from completely dead, and it recharges with solar light. Or I can plug it into the outlet, because it comes with the adapter that you need with the block. So it's a USB enabled device, which is fantastic. You can see now it's actually charging. The green light indicates that it is getting some sun, even though it's a very hazy day today. So this can actually be clipped on the outside of the bag once it's fully discharged. If I have to top it off again, if I'm walking around. I also take this on some of my backpacking trips, day trips. It's a fantastic little device, and it's not at all expensive. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but I don't remember it being very expensive, probably about $25. Next up, I have my Glo Tube, which it's kind of like an electronic version of a glow stick. It's waterproof. Divers use it, and It actually comes in handy. I've used it a few times during very bad snowstorms walking home when there's really no sidewalk and I have to walk in the road, and I don't want the cars to see me. I want the cars to see me, actually. So by twisting this, it has 3 different settings: bright, a little dimmer, and then strobe. So it comes with a lanyard. You can put it around your neck or clip it to your belt, and it helps a lot. And it's powered by one AAA battery, so it'll go a long time, actually. And I like it because you don't have to throw it out when you're done like you do with a glow stick. You just change the battery. And I do carry some spare batteries, 2 AAAs and 2 AA's, which I use for flashlight, which I'll show you in a moment. Also keep cigarette lighter and just a cloth to clean my glasses. And the final item I have in the top here is a Seychelles water filter. It's a drinking straw type. You drink from this end here, and this end goes in the water. Very, very lightweight. Filter's about 25 gallons, which is, fine for a little bag like this just to get home. Probably about an ounce. So that's that. And now we'll go to a different pocket. Also, this is when I put this on my lap on the train, this is the pocket that faces me, the inside. So here, mostly for entertainment, I have my Kindle Fire, which I use for reading or watching YouTube videos, which I've downloaded. It's Wi-Fi only, so obviously I don't have access to Wi-Fi on a moving train with this, but as long as I've downloaded things in advance, I'm okay. This is some emergency instructions given out by the train company Metro North, what to do in the event of an emergency. Pretty basic stuff. I carry this microfiber cloth. It's good for cleaning screens, even cleaning glasses, wiping your face. They're very good. They absorb a lot of water. They don't weigh anything, so I carry it. And then finally, in this pocket, I just have an Altoids tin, which is not an emergency kit. It actually contains Altoids. All right, that's it for that pocket. Now flip the bag around, and bear in mind I'm still working on the outside pockets here. I have an N95 mask, which is dust mask, filters 95% of particulate matter. Obviously you all remember the video footage of 9/11. Dust was a huge problem from the explosions, and this could be very valuable. And consequently, I carry this Breath of Life emergency escape mask also. Gives you about 20 minutes of smoke-free air in the event of a fire, natural disaster, terrorist attack. It's a little pricey. I think this was about $40, but again, probably less, about an ounce in weight. And for a while I debated whether or not to carry this, but just recently, this past January, there was a fire. Actually, I don't even know if it was a fire. It was an event in the metro in Washington, D.C., and the entire thing filled with smoke. There was actually one fatality, but had people had this, who knows? A lot of them probably would have been better off rather than inhaling that smoke, which still to this day they don't really know what the heck it was. Next, we'll open the actual bag. Oh, actually I have some side pockets here. I should show you those first. So on this side here, I just carry a metal tin which contains some wireless headphones. These are very good because, again, they just go into each ear. There's no wire connecting me to the device, so I'm not hampered by that. You know, it won't catch on things, etc. And also, these are strong enough so that I can hear what it is that I'm listening to on my electronic device, but at the same time, they're not completely over the ear. They don't detach me 100% from what's going on around me, so I still can maintain some level of situational awareness. So I just put them in this metal tin just to protect them. Also, they are charged by USB. On the other side, there's another pocket which contains my primary flashlight, which is a Phoenix LD22, about 220 lumens, great light. 2 AA batteries, and probably get about 2.5 hours on full charge. It also has a strobe. You can drop it down to lower lumens, because it's nice that it's, you know, a powerful light, but you don't always need to go full power. Don't want to destroy your night vision either. And I also have a pen in this pocket. You know, again, keep in mind this is an urban survival kit, not a wilderness survival kit, so things like a pen, tissues come in handy. So now we'll open the actual bag, and there's a pocket here where I have an emergency pouch of drinking water, 4 ounces. I actually had occasion to use a pouch like this not long ago, where there was a pregnant woman on the train, and she actually felt a little faint, so I pulled this out and asked her if she wanted a little water, and she took it. Gave me a funny look, because I don't think anyone's used to seeing water packaged this way, but it did come in handy for that, so I always carry one. Again, it's 4 ounces. It's got a shelf life. This one is good until about 2017. So, and these pouches are very strong. I've actually stepped on them. They don't break. The ones that come in boxes, they're not as robust. So I used to carry those, but I stopped doing that because I did have one leak. And since I do have an electronic device in here, I don't want to take any chances. Next, in this pocket, I carry a first aid kit. This one is for 1 to 4 people, put out by Adventure Medical Kits. This is a very good first aid kit, but what I like about it, the pouch is very robust. It tells you what's on it, and there's plenty of room in here to add your own stuff, which I've done. I'm not going to detail everything that's in here, but you can make this to be quite a complete kit. And again, it really doesn't weigh a lot. Maybe in a future video I'll do I'll describe the contents of it. So I think that is it for the, just have some papers in here, nothing really survival related. So that does it for the outside. Now for the main compartment of the bag. Pardon me for that. Again, I call this a survival kit, and a realistic survival kit. I live about 35 miles north of New York City, Manhattan, and realistically, if something were to happen, I'm not going to be walking home. It is an island. It would be utter chaos. I wouldn't be able to take the train. I wouldn't be able to, walk across bridges. The Hudson River is on one side of me. It's just not practical to think that I'm going to be, putting on my walking shoes, which I don't have with me anyway, and walking home. So, 35 miles in dress shoes would probably take me a week. So my goal here is to be as comfortable as I can in a hotel room, or in Grand Central, or someplace sheltered. And I've designed this kit basically for that reason. So I have a water bottle here. This is a very strong, high-grade Swiss military surplus water bottle, which I have actually 3 of these. I really like them. They're not a full liter, but that's okay. I can always find water on the way, somewhere in the city. Then I carry, now this is primarily full of food actually, this part of the bag. I do have like my daily combination snack and brew kit. I've got some tuna in here, some 3-in-1 coffees, a couple of candy bars, oatmeal, things like that. This is stuff I use daily and I switch it out. It's more of a daily comfort thing than anything else, but in a pinch, if I didn't have the ability to boil water for coffee, and I've gone through my edibles here, I also carry a food block, an emergency survival ration here. It's 2,400 calories divided into 12 individual bars. So each bar contains 200 calories. This has a shelf life of about 5 years. I hope never to have to eat this, and I have eaten them in the past, and they're not bad. They taste kind of like a very floury cookie, light lemon flavor or coconut. I don't even remember which one this is, but it's a pound, about a pound. It's a little hefty, but it doesn't have to be cooked. It doesn't stimulate thirst, and it's really worth the investment, and it's worth having it in your bag. So I carry it. Also, for some additional protein, I always carry a package of jerky. Jerky has a shelf life of about 2 years, so this is only 3.25 ounces. I don't really care about the weight so much, so I carry it. It's a comfort thing. It does, the West was one on jerky, so here you go. Next, and I think last actually, I carry a little Maxpedition pouch, which this is my toolkit really. Contains, there's a easily accessible whistle right on the outside, and I'm not going to go through each individual item in this video. I have some tools here. Extra flashlight, cigarette lighter, knife sharpener, things like that. Some cordage, pencil and paper. Put that aside. Now, on the question of, sorry, I keep hitting the question of self-defense. It is New York City. Just about everything is illegal. You're not going to be able to carry a firearm. You're not going to be able to carry a knife. You're not going to be able to, pepper spray is about all you can carry with you. So, best thing to do is to avoid any kind of situation where there's a potential for conflict. You should always carry some spare cash with you. I like to hide cash in different places. Let me just show you one example. If you take a bill, you can tightly roll it up like so. Obviously, you wouldn't do it with a 1. A 20 or a 50 would be more practical. Then you could take a shirt. This is an old shirt, just using it for illustration purposes. Take out the collar stay and replace the collar stay with the bill, like so. And there you go. Nobody would be the wiser. So you can carry, one on each side, another $40 that, just don't forget to take it out when you do your laundry, and you're good there. I may do a video on how to hide money on your person. So there you go. Well, that's basically it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Any suggestions or comments I would welcome. And again, this is my kit. I've been carrying it for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years. It works for me. I do switch out certain things, but in a nutshell, this is it. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys again on the next one.